Archangel Michael says, open your heart carefully, because not everything around you is as peaceful as it appears. There is a quiet stirring in the air, an energy that has been circling close to your home. Behind your walls, behind your daily routines, something is unfolding that has been hidden in plain sight. Every sound you ignore, every shadow you dismiss, carries a meaning much greater than you imagine. The one closest to your doorstep, the neighbor who seems harmless, is not as ordinary as they present. They have been holding back intentions that will soon press heavily into your life. The signs have already brushed against your senses, but you may have pushed them away as coincidence. A misplaced glance, an unusual word, or the silence of their eyes, these are not random happenings. They are messages, subtle warnings from heaven that danger is closer than comfort. Even as you read this, the air around you carries weight, urging you to remain alert. The walls of your home are not just barriers of brick and stone, but shields against what is preparing to move. And the one who lives right beside you has already taken the first step in this silent plan. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Their footsteps carry secrets in the night, their eyes scan your movements when you least expect. What you assume to be kindness has hidden motives. What you see as neighborly gestures are wrapped with threads of something far more serious. The energy of envy, the shadow of jealousy, has been feeding their choices. When heaven shows you the truth, it often begins in small whispers before it thunders. That whisper is already echoing in your space, trying to draw your attention before it becomes too late. Archangel Michael says, heaven will not allow the innocent to fall into traps without sending signs. Your dreams have been uneasy, your heart has felt sudden heaviness, and your instincts have stirred at random times. These are not illusions. They are the alarms ringing for your protection. The night holds their thoughts captive, and even when silence falls, their plans are shaping. The things you cannot see are the very things that will soon demand your attention. And heaven is already preparing to shield you before the strike happens. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You must understand, chosen one, that not every smile is born of love. Some are stitched with bitterness, some with hidden calculations. This neighbor's eyes have seen your blessings, and their spirit cannot handle what has been placed upon you. They watch what you own, they hear how you live, and inside their heart, there burns a storm of restlessness. Envy is a fire that consumes silently, and this fire has already touched their spirit. You have been chosen to see the truth before the flames rise against you. Every day that passes, their intentions grow bolder. They think their moves are invisible, but heaven already tracks each one. And the moment they act in secret, their exposure will become your deliverance. Archangel Michael says, do not fear when truth comes to light. For every hidden hand that tries to push against you, a stronger hand from heaven pulls you forward. And this battle is already being fought in realms unseen. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Their whispers in the dark carry your name. Their discussions with others turn in circles around your life. What they cannot achieve for themselves, they try to disrupt in you. The very ground you walk on has recorded their intentions, the air you breathe has carried fragments of their words. Even the birds that cross your path bring restless movements when their plans unfold nearby. This is not coincidence, it is revelation moving closer. You may have felt the sudden urge to stay away, to remain indoors, to guard yourself without reason. That instinct is heaven's voice. It tells you, stay watchful, stay grounded, because the truth is about to surface in shocking ways. Their jealousy does not rest. It builds silently, wrapping tighter until their actions break into reality. And when it does, heaven will stand by you, making sure their harm becomes their own trap. Type Amen to get blessing 666. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, breathe slowly and let the truth settle like a soft weight upon your chest, because what is concealed beside your home will not stay hidden for long. The one who greets you with a nod and shares a smile has been rehearsing another life in the dark, arranging small pieces that will one day knock against your peace. You have been gentle and generous, unaware that your light calls attention that some souls cannot bear. They catalog your comings and goings like a map, tracing the times your front gate creaks, the hours when your laughter fills the yard, and the exact moment your hands rest on the windowpane. In the quiet hours they plan subtle intrusions that begin as harmless favors and grow into claims upon what you hold dear. Their kindness has been the skin over a softer, more calculating heart that believes taking is easier than earning. There is a rhythm to their movements that your spirit has felt, a rhythm that sends tiny alarms through your body when you pass their doorway. The chest tightness you dismiss, the sudden chill beneath warm sunlight, these are signals placed by heaven to keep your eyes open. The unseen watch does not operate without cause, and your instincts are already tuned to this warning frequency. They will test boundaries as if the rules do not apply to them, stepping over lines you assumed were mutual and invisible. They will borrow, then forget, and borrow again, letting small debts become a pattern that masks deeper intentions. Their aim is slow accumulation, the confident patience of someone who believes time will make what they want inevitable. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Listen to the silence around their home, for silence often stores more than noise, and the space between words hides the motives of the heart. When neighbors speak in hushed tones and smiles linger too long at the corners, the hush is not innocence but plotting. The truth will reveal itself in the softest places, where you least expect a storm to gather. You have been generous because your spirit is kind, and your kindness is both a shield and, at times, an invitation. Some people see warmth and confuse it for weakness, mistaking patience for permission. Your patience has not gone unnoticed, and in the wrong hands it has been read as a permission slip for intrusion. Heaven asks you now to take back the simple things you once gave away without thought, to reclaim the boundaries you let slip during easier seasons. Reclaiming is not harshness, it is a quiet restoration of safety that the divine recommends. Each small boundary you return to will stitch a new strength along the edges of your life. Begin with gestures that do not announce resistance but protect warmth. Change little routines that reveal your schedule, keep front lights on at different times, and trust the small nudges that tell you to lock a door twice or to ask who is at the gate before opening. These acts are not fear, but wisdom in motion, and heaven applauds each deliberate step you take. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They will attempt to dissolve your alliances, speaking doubts into the ears of mutual friends and painting shadows where there was clarity. They will weave stories that make you seem distant or ungrateful, hoping to make you appear undeserving of the neighborhood's goodwill. Their tactic is to isolate, to make small fissures so large that companions withdraw, leaving you exposed. Hold tight to the people who have seen your truth, for those rooted in genuine care will stand when false tales blow through like leaves. Tell simple truths often and calmly, so they may serve as pins that hold together the fabric of your reputation. Presence and consistency are powerful medicines against the slow rot of rumor. Protect your private things with quiet rituals that feel sacred to you, not out of paranoia but out of respect for the life you are building. Label important papers, keep copies of documents, and place meaningful items where your intuition advises. The tangible order you keep will make it harder for covetous hands to rearrange your world. Document the small oddities that occur and record them in a journal of prayer and facts, for the mind remembers in a different way when ink meets paper. Each entry is a beacon for your future self, a ledger of what was real and what shifted. When truth emerges, these notes will be proof that you honored what you perceived before it became apparent. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Your neighbor's interruptions will not always look like malice at first, since the clever heart masks intent with utility. They will offer to water plants, to pick up packages, to be the helpful presence when you are away. These good deeds are camouflage for a plan that hopes familiarity will lower your guard. Notice the pattern in favors that always require access to your home or personal schedule. A favor that asks for keys or codes, even briefly, is not a favor but a probe. Be gentle but firm when declining offers that compromise your privacy, because saying no is sometimes the greatest act of love toward yourself. When people show an interest in the things you guard, they may test if your generosity will be limitless, and if so, they will take liberties. Those liberties begin as small conveniences and end in ownership claims. The remedy is clear: preserve the sanctity of your space by choosing the circle of influence carefully. Strength arrives not as a shout but as the soft knowledge that you will not allow your life to be rearranged by anyone else's hunger. This strength is built from the daily decisions to protect the sacred rhythm of your home and its routines. Each small protective act is an investment in a peace that lasts longer than any borrowed kindness. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. Pay attention to the pets, plants, and small dependents that mirror your neighbor's presence. Animals and flora sense unease before people do, and their behavior will often tell the story the mouth will not. A dog that barks at midnight toward that house, a plant that is mysteriously watered only when you are away, these are soft alarms. They do not speak in human words but in movements that your spirit can read. Do not ignore the subtle theft of time, which can be more devastating than stealing objects, since time is the medium in which your life is woven. When someone asks for endless favors, your schedule thins, your energy becomes borrowed, and you start to stand in your home like a guest. Protect your time as you would guard the threshold of your heart. When neighbors intrude upon your calendar, they attempt to rent a piece of your life without paying its price. Keep your commitments sacred and learn to offer your time to those who reciprocate honorably. The margin you create by protecting time will preserve your vigilance and your joy. Do not fear the firmness you practice in guarding your days, for boundaries create the space where miracles can breathe. Your life will not become cold by holding lines, it will become clear, and clarity invites better guests into your garden. Stay steady in the small acts that protect the whole. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. There will be moments when their actions escalate, and escalation is often preceded by a small series of coincidences that were anything but chance. A lost key discovered in their hands, a story of a forged favor, someone mentioning that you left the gate open when you are certain you did not. These are the breadcrumbs of a larger design. Keep careful track of these patterns without letting fear be their engineer. If you catch someone in the act of overstepping, do not respond with public shame, but respond with measured steps that turn the event into recorded truth. Take a photo of misplaced items, note the time of unexpected entries, and call witnesses if needed. These measured responses neutralize drama and elevate your facts above fabrication. When you bring light to a shadow, the shadow loses its power. Do not allow shame to keep you silent when your safety is questioned, and do not let pride make you small when a neighbor's appetite grows beyond politeness. There is no heavy arm in honest confrontation taken with dignity and calm. Make alliances with neighborhood systems that exist to keep everyone safe, for community infrastructure is not an accusation but a collective shield. Attend local meetings, connect with a trusted local watch, and let official systems do what your heart alone cannot. This is communal wisdom in action, not a surrender of autonomy. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Your home's thresholds deserve ritual protection, gentle practices that feel like prayer and practical measures that feel like common sense. Bless your door with sacred intention when you pass through it, saying words that settle your spirit and set the tone for the space. At the same time, install simple security measures that make access predictable and traceable. Keep spare keys with people who have proven themselves trustworthy over long seasons, and change locks when the instinct to do so rises in you. A changed lock is not a statement of mistrust, but an act of self-respect, asserting that your life is not a revolving door for other people's appetites. You are permitted to close what is not yours to share. If your neighbor's advances become invasive, document and use small technology to keep clarity, light sensors, simple cameras at entrances, or neighborhood apps that share alerts. Use these tools not to spy, but to protect facts and create a record that supports your sense of truth. The record is your ally when stories begin to warp. Remember that the law is a resource and not an adversary. Using it can be an act of preservation rather than aggression. Seek counsel, file reports when necessary, and let formal steps remind infringers that boundaries are enforced by more than willpower. This framework is a guardian that protects not only you but the whole village. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. When the neighbor's envy turns to direct action, it may take forms that feel like calamity at first glance, but every calamity that surfaces gives you an opportunity to rise. A broken lock, a damaged window, or a rash of missing items will be the moment the universe steps in to align the facts with your truth. Your reaction in these hours defines the story that follows. Be deliberate and calm, gather witnesses, create a careful record, and let the community respond with presence rather than gossip. Do not allow the offense to become your identity, but let it be a chapter that reveals strength, wisdom, and resilience. In doing so, you convert an attack into a declaration that you will no longer be quietly taken from. Your voice will be a steadying force, and the courage you display will be mirrored by those who love you. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Each step you take publicly and calmly will fortify your home and your name against further incursions. In the days after exposure, surround yourself with those who restore normalcy with small gestures of care, helping to rebuild a rhythm that was interrupted. Invite friends for a meal, reclaim your garden, and perform daily rituals that re-anchor your life to joy and purpose. This restoration is the true victory over any attempt to unsettle you. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. There may be an offer from their lips that sounds like restitution, a promise to change, or a plea for forgiveness that smells of convenience rather than contrition. Hear their words and test them against consistent action over time, not instant sweet talk. Promises without pattern are like paper boats in a storm, pretty until they sink. If you decide to observe rather than to forgive quickly, do it gently, keeping your heart open but your doors measured. Forgiveness can be a quiet river that moves through you, but reconciliation is a different path that requires evidence before trust returns. Allow time to be the judge that reveals the true character of their changed heart. You do not owe your safety to anyone's need for absolution, and you are not required to place your life back under the hand of someone who has breached its sanctity. Self-preservation is holy when practiced with dignity and without malice. Your life is a vessel for goodness, not an offering to careless hands. Be mindful of forgiveness as a gift to your soul rather than a favor to the person who hurt you, and let your grace be a light that renews rather than exposes you again. Forgive to free yourself, not to invite repetition. This is a divine discipline that protects the future you are creating. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. Choose practical protections that honor beauty and utility alike, such as landscaping that screens your home elegantly, fences that complement rather than divide, and lighting that makes night feel safe and hospitable. Beauty can be its own guard when paired with intention. Curate your surroundings as a sanctuary that invites only what is wholesome and bright. Let your interior spaces be simple and ordered, with places for important things and attention to the small daily rituals that cultivate peace. Order in your physical environment feeds calm in your mind and clarity in your judgments. The environment you create will support the choices you make and the boundaries you hold. Invite a trusted neighbor you admire over for tea and conversation, and let genuine alliances form in the sunlight of shared values. Good neighbors multiply safety, and belonging makes predatory designs harder to sustain. Community is the natural antidote to isolation that cultivates ill intent. Be vigilant in small ways and radiant in your daily life, for a joyful presence is both protective and disarming. When your life glows with purpose, those who seek to take will find less opportunity in plain sight. Keep building, keep nurturing, and let your home be a testament to resilience. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. When the reveal comes, do not be surprised if shame or denial arises on the other side, for exposure often forces inward reckonings. They may speak of misunderstandings or claim a lapse of judgment, but your records and your steady calm will be the mirror that reflects what truly happened. Let your evidence breathe and your quiet truth speak for itself. If legal steps become necessary, move forward with clear-headed resolve, for the systems that stand for fairness were made to protect those who act with integrity. Use counsel kindly and firmly, and let the process shift the balance back toward safety. You will not be alone in this. After the storm passes, allow yourself a season of tender healing that is not rushed by duty or by others' expectations. Grief over violated trust is real and deserves a patient heart. Let close friends hold space for you while you stitch back the frayed parts with the slow thread of care. In time, You will rediscover the simple pleasure of living without looking over your shoulder, and that rediscovery will be sweeter for what it endured. Your restored peace will be deeper because it is earned, and your boundaries will be lighter because they are accepted. This is the quiet triumph of one who refused to be diminished. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Keep sacred the inner places where dreams are born, for your neighbor's envy will never reach the hidden well where your gifts are stored. Tend to your craft, your passions, and the relationships that feed your soul, because the more you pour into what is holy for you, the less attractive you become to thieves of goodness. Purpose shields as effectively as walls. Create a daily practice that anchors you in strength, whether it is a moment of breath, a walk at sunrise, or a ritual of gratitude before sleep. These repeated acts become rituals that stitch serenity into the fabric of your days. Ritual is refuge and a declaration that your life is tended with intention. Surround yourself with reminders of the good you have sown, tokens that call you back to abundance and not scarcity. Photographs, notes, and small mementos will remind you that your life has been and will remain generous and full. These reminders are beacons that guide you when shadows try to rewrite your story. Let your restored boundaries be an invitation for healthier people to approach you, and for genuine help to enter freely. Openness within safe limits is the balance that brings new friends and honest neighbors into your life. Your home will become a place where trust is both practiced and deserved. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Teach those who follow your path the wisdom you gained, for your experience is a light for others who will walk similar roads. Share what you learned about simple protections, about listening to inner alarms, and about the sanctity of time and space. Your story will prevent others from suffering in silence. Build a small ritual of passing on wisdom in your community, whether informally over tea or in a neighborhood circle, and let practical awareness spread like gentle armor among those you love. When a village learns to look after itself, predators find fewer openings to exploit. Collective wisdom is a quiet force that transforms vulnerability into strength. Honor the tender parts of yourself that recoiled at betrayal, and speak to them with kindness as you would to a child who has been hurt and is learning to trust again. Healing takes time and patience, and your inner child deserves soft attention while learning that the world can be safe once more. Treat yourself with the same gentleness you would offer a dear friend. Keep a time capsule of gratitude, listing months and moments when protection arrived, when friends stayed, and when justice was enacted. Revisit this capsule in seasons of doubt to remind yourself that you did not stand alone and that the universe aligned to safeguard you. This act anchors faith in reality and courage in memory. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Finally, know that this season will become a testimony for your soul, a chapter that shapes strength and compassion in equal measure. You will carry wisdom forward that will refine the way you give, the way you protect, and the way you love. The neighbor's passing cloud will not define your horizon, and your life will continue to bloom beyond the shadow they cast. Walk forward with steady steps, keeping your heart both guarded and open to the fragile beauty that remains in the world. Guard what must be guarded, release what must be released, and keep the tender center of your being lit with the small daily acts of care that make a life sacred. You are not merely surviving this season, you are growing, and growth is the truest answer to those who tried to take from you. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. You are not alone in this vigil, for unseen helpers move in concert with your resolve, and the small changes you make will ripple outward in ways you cannot yet see. Keep your eyes gentle and your boundaries sharp, and let every measured step be a prayer enacted in flesh. The neighbor who sought to unsettle will find their plans dissolving against a life that will not be relinquished without fierce love. Stand in the power of your daily choices, and let kindness be your sword that disarms and wisdom be your shield that protects. The grace you employ will not make you vulnerable, but luminous, and in that light the truth will always find its way. Keep building your peace, and know that safety is not only possible but becoming the natural state of your home once more. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. Keep this message close as a companion, and return to it when your courage needs a gentle nudge. Let each practical step you have taken be proof that you chose not to be a passive guest in your own life. You are the keeper of your thresholds, and in that keeping you honor the life you were meant to live. The neighbor's chapter will close, and a new, quieter season will open where laughter returns with ease and the rhythms of ordinary joy flourish again. Protect the light that is uniquely yours, and let the world see you thriving in the safety you have reclaimed. Your life is a sanctuary, and sanctuaries stand firm. Type Amen to get blessing 2222.